So, welcome to the second video in this playlist on fundamentals of English grammar. And in the previous video, we discussed what a sentence is, and we discussed that a sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. And we discussed some examples, and I also told you at the end that every sentence has two parts, and those two parts are something that we are going to discuss in this video. Those two parts are the subject and the predicate. Now, before we get started with this video, don't forget to note down this email address, which is support@perfectscores.org. So let's get started. So a sentence, which by the way is of four types. If you remember from the previous video, you have simple declarative or assertive sentences. Then you have questions that are known as interrogative sentences. And then you have some commands, orders, requests. And finally, you have sentences that talk about feelings and they end with an exclamation mark. So now let's look at the structure of a sentence. A sentence must always do two things. First, it should name a person or a thing. So let me write it down here. It must name a person or a thing. And the second thing, tell something about that person or the thing that we mentioned. For example, he is my friend. Now, this sentence is talking about he. And what is the sentence telling you about he? That the person is my friend. So you have these two parts of a sentence. So that means we have a subject to talk about, and we mention or predicate something about that subject. So these are the two parts of a sentence. Let's take another example. I go to office. Now the subject of the sentence is I, because the sentence is talking about the person I. And what is the sentence telling you? That the person goes to office. So this is the subject and this part is the predicate. Let's take one more example. The box is red. In this case, the topic of the sentence is the box. What do we know about the box? It is red. So you have the subject and you have the predicate. Now most of the times, mostly, the subject comes before the predicate. For example, the bus is here, or the statue stands here. So what is the subject of the first sentence? The bus. What is the subject of the second sentence? The statue. In some cases, the subject can also come after the predicate. For example, here arrives the bus. The topic of the sentence is still the bus, but it is located after the predicate. Or there goes my friend. The topic of the sentence, the subject, is friend, and it is present after the predicate. So this isn't wrong, it's correct. You can have the subject before the predicate or after the predicate. The only condition for the sentence to be correct is that it should have both the subject and the predicate. But sometimes in imperative sentences, the subject is often left out. For example, get me the book. Now you're obviously telling this to someone, but you don't need to mention that someone in the sentence. You don't need to say, you get me the book. You can just say, get me the book. The subject is not present in this case. Or when I say, go away, or come here. In both these cases, you do not need a subject because these are imperative sentences. The ones that talk about orders, requests, commands. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write here a number of sentences, and as a practice what you can do is you can pause the video and try to determine the subject and the predicate. So I'll go ahead and I'll write down the sentences and then you can pause the video. So these are the sentences in front of you. Go ahead and try to find the subject and predicate in each of these sentences by pausing the video. But I'm going to give you the answers just now. Okay, so let's look at the answers. The underlined yellow part is the subject. So in the first one, the food here is good. What is good? The food here. So the food here is the subject, is good is the predicate. A rolling stone is the subject, that is the thing that we're talking about, and the predicate is that it gathers no moss. In the next one, the subject is this whole thing, science without conscience. And what do we know about it? That this thing is the ruin of all nations. Then in the next one, now this is an imperative sentence. So we do not need to add any subject here. So this whole thing is the predicate. Let us watch a movie today. It's like a suggestion. In the next one, I is the subject. What do we know about I? That I'm going to order some food. So that becomes the predicate. The bus is the subject. Is late as usual is the predicate because that tells you something about the bus. Now in this question, this interrogative sentence, the subject comes after the predicate. The subject is everybody and the predicate is what are you asking about everybody. You're not asking who is everybody or when is everybody or why is everybody or how is everybody. But you're asking where is everybody. In the next one, this is also an imperative sentence, so you do not need any subject. This whole sentence is the predicate. Never repeat this error. In this one, the pillow is the subject. What do we know about the subject? That it's red. So is red is the predicate. And in the last one, again an imperative sentence. So no need of any subject. Think before you speak. That is going to be the predicate. So far what we have done is a few of the concepts about subject and predicate. Now you know that a sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. But what about those groups of words that make incomplete sentence? Are they completely wrong? Can they not be part of another sentence? Well, they can be. And they are known as phrases and clauses. But that is something that we are going to cover in the next video. So again, I hope you've done the exercise of trying to identify different kinds of sentences as I told you in the previous video. What you have to do as practice for this video is try to find those sentences and try to find out the subject and the predicate of each sentence. And another thing you can try out to improve your sentence structure is try to build more sentences similar to the ones that we have discussed till this video. So I hope overall this video was helpful in making you realize what are the two main components of a sentence, the topic, which is the subject, and what the sentence tells you about that topic, which is the predicate. So I hope you'll be able to use this in your life and keep waiting for the next video, which is going to be on phrases and clauses. So thank you so much for watching this video.